Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. My name is Kelly Stewart. I am joined today by Ralph Michaels at Cal Sports on Twitter and Marco D'Angelo at Marco in Vegas. Marco, what a creative Twitter name. You just got to love it. Today, we're just talking a little bit of ACC football, opening weekend, Labor Day, Monday night college football. How exciting. Virginia Tech getting 6.5 at Florida State. Guys, I'd be lying if I said I've really divulged deep into this ACC matchup, and I have not, but did a little bit of background research. The Noles have been great in the ACC the past 2 seasons, 11-5, but they haven't played Florida State since 2012. So I don't really know what to make of this game. Marco, I'm going to start with you. Talk to me about the Hokies versus the Seminoles.
I'm very high on Virginia Tech this year. This is year 3 for Justin Fuente. This is a guy I loved when he was at Memphis, and he has a knack of getting the most out of his quarterbacks. We saw what he did with Paxton Lynch in college. It hasn't transferred to the NFL, as you know, Kelly, being a fan of the Denver Broncos, but he's doing it again. Last year, with a redshirt freshman, Josh Jackson, just under 3,000 yards passing. He had a touchdown to interception ratio of 20-9. This team, and then they can run the football. You got a quarterback that can throw. That's something we haven't seen at Virginia Tech in a while. And that stable of running backs and one of the best defenses in the country. I got to look at this team, and this is a great opening game. It's a shame that it's the first game, and one of these teams is going to be put in a hole early. But I'm high on Virginia Tech for the ACC.
Well, at least I don't agree with you again. And let's talk Virginia Tech first, because I agree with you. 10-4, 9-4 for Fuente the first 2 years, with Virginia Tech going through all their transition and, replacing a Hall of Famer in Beamer is incredible. But, I look at Virginia Tech. With a young quarterback, they were plus 158 yards per game at home. They were minus 38 yards per game on the road. And this is a situation, Marco, that you and I have talked about in the podcast with injuries and units. Now, Virginia Tech only returns 5 defensive starters this year. That means they lost 6 returning starters. Well, when 2 of your 6 starters are the Edmond brothers, who both went in the first round, that's one thing. But when you also had a DB drafted in the 5th round, that's another thing. When you also had another DB go in the supplemental round, that means 3 of your 4 secondary players got drafted last year. That's tough to replace. And now this year already, they lost both projected starting quarterbacks. One's out with an ACL in spring. One is out with academics. So they are going deep into their secondary. And let's remember, Florida State was only a 7-point dog to Bama at the beginning of last year, opening week. What happens? They lose DeAndre Francis first game. The rest of the year, they have to go to a true freshman, James Blackman, who they weren't expecting to play. They have a true freshman running back in Cam Akers, 1,000 yards. Now, Francis is back with experience. You have Cam Akers, and let's not forget, Willie Taggart is not afraid to run up the score when he gets a lead. 7-1-1 his last 2 years as a home favorite with USF, 4-1 as a home favorite with Oregon in his 1 season there. Now he's back. I think this is a situation that Florida State, people look down on him because of a 7-6 year. Virginia Tech had a 9-4 year. Both have 12 starters back. But to me, the teams are night and day, and I do like the Seminoles.
All right, a question for you just to ask. With the first year with Taggart coming in here, we know that you don't have your personnel the first year. How does this talent that Florida State have match up with what
I think that's a
he
great
wants
question.
to run?
That was something I also had a question about.
You know what? To me, from what I've read with the Seminoles, it's not as if, though, you're going from a pass attack to a rush attack. I mean, if you look at the USF offense from 2 years ago and you look at the Oregon offense, there's not a skilled player on that team that's not excited to be playing under Taggart's offense. This is a lot of young kids excited to be playing this offense. You have top-notch talent. Akers was the number 1 running back out of high school. DeAndre, I think, was the number 2 or 3 quarterback out of high school. You have top-level talent now playing this top-level offense. I think that just gives Taggart more possibilities.
All right. I mean, I'm a little nervous about DeAndre Francois and his lovely knee injury last year against Alabama. It's always tough to come back. It has been a year. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, is that anything that you're taking into consideration here?
Well, they've said he's fine, so I have to go by that. Obviously, week 1, if he learns, if I lose this and he does look bad, that's something we make adjustments for. But there's certain things, even when you're handicapping, all you could do is follow closely, pay attention to the news, keep up with the updates, and if they all tell you he's fine, well, then you've got to believe he's fine unless it's proved otherwise. It's not like he's making a miraculous 2-week recovery. He's had a full calendar year from one game to the next.
All right, good stuff. 3-day all access, $59. Pick your favorite handicapper and get all of their plays for 3 days for just $59. Guys, as always, if you like these videos, please give them a thumbs up, share them with your friends, and tune in to all of our other Wager Talk TV videos.